throw in. The Portugal manager, Fernando Santos, on his feet on the edge of the technical area. Just asking for a bit more urgency from his players. Just chipped forward by the Dutch right back Dumfries, headed away by Font. And there was a foul by Bergwijn. Dragging Gonzalo Guedes to the ground. The Valencia striker preferred today for João Felix, but struggling at the moment to make too much of an impression.
I think, to be honest, there's too many free kicks at the minute. The game really struggling to get into a rhythm. Maybe the referee could let a couple of things go, let the game flow.
The same story in the third place match between England and Switzerland. Lots of petty decisions given. David Connolly has articulated, no real flow to the contest. That may change here as Portugal go long once again, but Ronaldo unable to keep the ball in play. So it will be a throw-in for the Dutch on this near side. Ronaldo waves a dismissive finger towards the assistant referee on the near side. And hat-trick he scored to take Portugal to this final, made it 88 goals for his country, 53 career trebles.
Incredible. I mean, his manager Fernando Santos called him a genius. He had him as well, didn't he, as a youngster at Sporting Lisbon?
He actually came out and said this week that you know the story about his move to Manchester United. They played Sporting Lisbon in a friendly, and basically the players begged Sir Alex Ferguson after that game to sign Ronaldo, and Santos has come out this week and said, I wish I didn't play him. He would have probably been noticed eventually.
I think so.
24 minutes gone. Still no goals in Porto. Again, there's a coming together on the edge of the Portuguese penalty area. Babel goes down looking for a free kick. It's not given, and Holland have continued. Plenty of men forward in this attack. Wijnaldum, who's covered plenty of ground, has the ball over on the right-hand side. De Ligt stepping out from the back, takes over. Defended well so far, Portugal, and Carvalho this time sliding into dispossess Bergwijn on the edge of the area. Holland have it back again with Wijnaldum. Here is De Ligt on the halfway line. Very composed and controlled Holland when they have had the ball. They've won a free kick here. That was a clever turn by Wijnaldum, who was swept off his feet, just in from the right touchline.
He looks sharp, doesn't he? Wijnaldum, 120 minutes the other night and the Champions League final, but he looks really sharp and on the ball on it so far. He's got lovely feet, isn't he? It's been a terrific sign, hasn't he, for Liverpool? He's really come into the fore, because for Holland, he does play this attacking role. He's got amongst the goals. I know for Liverpool, at a long time, a long period, he played that sort of sitting role, didn't really venture forward.
Free kick dinked into the penalty area. Van Dijk and De Ligt up from the back, headed away by Carvalho, and Van Dijk comes slowly over to this near touchline and watches the ball out for a throw. Such a threat, Virgil van Dijk, from any kind of set piece that's played in. Pepe with his arm in a sling, watching from the director's box here at the Dragao Stadium. Sure, he would have loved to have played a part tonight. Now plays his club football back in Portugal. On this very ground, here is Daley Blind for Holland. 26 on the clock, the only other score. Bit of space on the right-hand side for Bergwijn if they can find him. Babel unable to control the ball 5 yards outside the penalty area, and it's knocked up to Bernardo Silva. So calm in possession, the Manchester City playmaker, and he swept the play out to the left-hand side and allowed Guerreiro to trot forward. Portugal still yet to come out of their shell in this first half, soaking up a lot of Dutch pressure, but for all the possession they've had, David, haven't really seen the whites of Rui Patricio's eyes yet.
No, not yet. I mean, when they do build up, they get in and around the box. That time it's Ryan Babel with a really poor layoff. Things are just breaking down there. I mean, he could have, I guess, gone for Quincy Promes, who came on and did really well. He's got more pace to get in behind, but at the minute, it's just not coming off on the edge of the area for the Dutch.
Here is Font on the halfway line. Portugal all the way back to Rui Patricio. Winning his 80th cap tonight, the Wolverhampton Wanderers goalkeeper. He plays it short to the edge of the penalty area, and Diaz. Again, Holland hunting, in fact, pressing Portugal high up the field. It's been a tactic that has paid off so far. Carvalho Back to Jose Font. 10 yards outside the penalty area, away to the left-hand side. Here is Carvalho now, stretching those long legs and making his way into the Dutch half, and he's found Ronaldo on the edge of the area. Only one thing in his mind, get the shot away on the half volley, but it's charged down by Van Dijk and out of play for a corner.
Well, it's a really good break forward there from Carvalho. Just tried to pick out Ronaldo, bouncing ball, he elected to shoot. Van Dijk was too close in though, good block. What do they do here? I just wonder, sorry. You know, they've got these zones, so how are they going to move them? Are they going to go for an in-swinger, but then it'll be too close to the zones? Obviously, where that's when Van Dijk and De Ligt are, they've got to work it short, and they have.
They have gone short. In comes the cross from the right-hand side, and Jose Font with a header. It's a good save down low to the left-hand side by Silerson. I think the referee had blown for a foul anyway on De Ligt, but it was a good save nonetheless from Jasper Silerson.
Yeah, that's the sort of delivery. I just wondered, an in-swing is not going to work against that Dutch defence, so they took it short. Little cut back, then went for the outswinger. Looked like, I think it was Ronaldo trying to block De Ligt. In the end, Jose Font with a free header. Couldn't quite get enough power on it though, comfortable save.
He's never scored for his country, Jose Font. He was reasonably prolific for Southampton. He was a former teammate of yours for a period.
He was, yeah, we had really good success, obviously, successful promotions, and obviously then went on to be a Euro winner. Brilliant for him. He's had a terrific, stellar career since, and obviously got that move to China. Didn't really work out for him. Now playing in Lille, he's had a really good season at Lille. Played an awful lot of football. So although Pepe's out, obviously he's got the shout to come in.
He had a nightmare debut, didn't he, in the Chinese Super League? His team lost 7-0.
Yeah.
What was your biggest defeat as a professional?
I don't know. Can't remember.
Blocked it from your memory.
Yes. I don't think 7-0 though. I can't remember a 7-0. I've got to be honest, but.
I don't think this one's going to be 7-0. 16 minutes to go until half-time. Chance maybe for Holland to get the ball into the area, though. It's across from Bergwijn on the left-hand side, which Jose Font heads away. He's run back now by the fullback Guerrero. Again, Holland committing plenty of bodies forward. It'll lay off to this right-hand side, and Semedo does lob to bomb on from right back. Here is Semedo. Shifts the ball onto his left foot, then back onto his right. That was good defending by Daley Blind. Portugal still have a crossing chance though, and it's arm behind by Silerson. It's a cross-come shot from Bruno Fernandes that needed the intervention of the Holland goalkeeper.
That's a super strike here, right-footed from the right-hand side, going across goal, aiming for that far corner. He just palmed it away, Silerson. But Nelson Semedo, he's got the speed, hasn't he? He's got the beating of Daley Blind. He just needed to go on the outside. No need to then slow it down and front him up.
Into the last quarter of an hour of the first half. Portugal goes short with a corner once again. But he's swung in for the left-hand side to Ronaldo. And the header straight into the arms of Silerson.
Again, really well-worked corner. Obviously, they've done their homework here, the Portuguese. They know they can't just lump this ball in. Worked it short, just created that different sort of angle. Back to the edge of the box, a really good ball. Flighted in just along the penalty spot. There's Ronaldo, completely unmarked, but that's because the Dutch defence has squeezed up. He was offside, about half a yard. Still, it's a good stop, though, from Silerson.
So 4 corners for Portugal, none for Holland thus far. And at last, the host nation beginning to ask questions of the Holland goalkeeper. It was a sloppy pass from Holland, and Martin de Roon straight out of touch for a Portuguese throw on the halfway line. De Roon, who played 34 Premier League games with Middlesbrough, now at Atlanta in Italy.
And in the Champions League, what an achievement it is for them. Absolutely brilliant season, stellar season for him and Atalanta.
Didn't do too badly in that Borough side that went down, Martin de Roon. As Portugal have the ball, 20 yards inside their own half. You listen to Talk Sport on this Sunday evening. 0-0 the score in the inaugural UEFA Nations League final in Porto. One back by Ryan Babel inside the centre circle. Babel, who scored or assisted each of Holland's last 8 goals. They will want him to see plenty of the ball this evening. Here's Virgil van Dijk now. It's been as tight and as cagey as we probably expected.
Yeah, I mean, look, both sides, I think, feeling each other out. As we spoke about, different strengths that they have. The Dutch certainly really good in the centre of defence and middle of the park with their midfield. And when they get the ball out wide, Portugal have got real pace. That's where their quality is, but they just haven't had it enough out there. saying that in and around the box, Holland, as we spoke about, don't really have a number 9, so it has broken down. No one there to really unlock a door, maybe do a little turn, get a shot off, get the crowd going. Certainly Dutch fans haven't had much to cheer so far. They've had the ball a lot, but not really done anything with it.
Playing their way out from the back here, Holland, but Brady Blink can't keep the ball in play after it was chipped. David, was that maybe Portugal have the greater strength in depth in terms of players who can come on and change the game. Here's Bernardo Silva looking to change it any.
Yo mensen, de livestream deed het even niet. Als het goed is gaat hij nu doen.
Without really penetrating Portugal, and they just slowly grew into game, the Portuguese. When they break forward, they've got real quality in and around the box. They just come alive, and the Dutch, to be honest, we spoke about it at the start, they do lack a number 9. They've got players in there, don't look totally comfortable with their back to goal. The likes of Ryan Babel, the Memphis Depay, they seem to drift and prefer it out wide. But yeah, they haven't really carried that much of a threat, the Dutch. So I think certainly the Portuguese will be the happier, but I think, yes, we'll be hoping for a little bit more goal mouth action in the second half.
And I guess Portugal are always happy in these kind of games because despite the tremendous firepower they carry with Bernardo Silva and Cristiano Ronaldo, we've seen over the years that essentially they're a very defensive team, happy to stay settled in the game, David, and wait for Cristiano Ronaldo to turn it for them.
Yep, and look, he's up against a fullback who looks intimidated. He's a young boy, Denzel Dumfries, has come a long way in a short space of time, but all they need to do is just get the ball out to him as often as they can. We've seen him 1v1, we've seen the Dutch double up on him, it still hasn't been enough. He still worked the opening. You just feel if they can get the ball to him a little bit more, and Bernardo Silva, he has been brilliant. I mean, he is the schemer in there, he's pulling the strings, but apart from Ronaldo, they don't really have anyone else that looks like they're actually going to hit the target.
Well, that's the problem, isn't it? They've got most of the team is concentrating on defending. Yep. Bernardo Silva looks like he's playing in a different match altogether, and then they're just waiting for to get the ball to Cristiano Ronaldo. Holland has yet to make much of a mark on the game, as you rightly say. And I know Alex was saying they don't have the same resources as Portugal, but they're not without resource on the bench. Luke de Jong is a limited player but does score goals. We've seen in the Champions League that Donny van de Beek will make space behind the front players, so they have got some and Quincy Promes, of course, is possibly a better player than some of the ones they've got on the pitch. So there are opportunities for Holland to change as if they want.
Yeah, certainly. Look, I think Quincy Promes we might see him at half time, to be honest, because Bergwijn was really poor, and down that right hand side they look very vulnerable. Bergwijn and Dumfries, they're a sort of young, inexperienced two. So Promes, I'm sure at some point. Wijnaldum looks really fresh. I thought maybe David Propper would start, or he may come on at some point, but Donny van de Beek he'd be in my starting 11.
Yeah, me
I think
too.
he's got De Roon in there just to run around and give that added bit of protection, but I think maybe Koeman will look at how they performed, and I think he might make similar changes to like he did against England.
I'm not I never give up hope, because I think often finals are a bit dull, take a little while to get underway. Thank you very much, David. Go and have a cup of Bovril or whatever it is people have at international football matches these days. Let me just remind you, you're listening to the UEFA Nations League final here on Talk Sport, your home of live football. I'm Danny Kelly, and of course when we get back to the second half, Alex Crook and David Connolly will be taking you through all of the action. Let's hope it picks up a little bit from a rather turgid first 45.
Emptied up by Bergwijn, so lays it off for Bruno Fernandes. That's a dangerous ball whipped in, straight into the arms of the goalkeeper Silerson. Here's Carvalho with a shot from distance. Silerson has to come out of his goal and almost scoop it over the head of Bernardo Silva and away to Daley Blind on this left-hand side. In comes the cross from the right-hand side, and Jose Font with a header. It's a good save down low to the left-hand side by Silerson. Portugal goes short with a corner once again. But he's swung in for the left-hand side to Ronaldo. And the header straight into the arms of Silerson. Up against Dumfries once again. On that left-hand side. Ronaldo to the edge of the penalty area, shooting chance. It was Fernandes again. It was blocked by Van Dijk. Bernardo Silva attacking the penalty area. Maybe a chance here. And he's over the crossbar. Magic in his boots, Ronaldo. Taking on the fullback Dumfries. I think he's going to try and get it onto his right foot here and get a shot away. He does so. It's straight into the arms of Silerson.
The UEFA Nations League final live on TalkSport with Booking.com. Team playing away from home, get an accommodation result with Booking.com. Let's make it happen.
The Audi A4 Saloon Black Edition has dark matte titanium alloy wheels. It has a sleek black grille, a discreet black spoiler, blackened privacy glass, and black leather Alcantara upholstery. So you see, when it comes to style, with the Audi A4 Saloon Black Edition, there are no grey areas. Available from £299 per month with an initial rental of £1,794. Offer ends 30th of June 2019. Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik. Business users only. Excludes VAT at 20%. 48-month contract hire. T's and C's apply. No ownership. Audi Financial Services. Visit audi.co.uk.
Did you know Diesel has unleashed a new scent that could be right up Dad Street this Father's Day? Spirit of the Brave has roared into stores and is ready to try and buy at the perfume shop. Plus, we'll wrap Dad's gift for free in-store or click and collect online and pick up in 30 minutes. Shop the latest scents 24/7 at theperfumeshop.com.
Diego Maradona, rebel, hero, hustler, god. From the award-winning director of Amy and Senna comes the ultimate story of Maradona's phenomenal success on the pitch and unprecedented scandal off it. Critics are calling it a stunning portrayal of football's most outrageous talent, mesmerizing, spellbinding and remarkable. An extraordinary talent, an unmissable cinematic event. Diego Maradona, only in cinemas June 14th.
At Asda this week, why not try something different? Like delicious salmon, cod or sea bass fillets. At just £3.19 per pack, they make the perfect midweek meal inspiration. Bring it home with Asda. Save money, live better. Selected stores subject to availability. Salmon 240 grams, cod 260 grams, sea bass 180 grams.
G'day. Hi, it's Colin from Glasgow.
Cozza?
My girlfriend wants to move in.
How long you been seeing the lovely lady?
I don't know, 4 years.
Whoa! Where's the fire, Cozza?
Buy yourself some time, mate.
Tell your pad isn't fit for a princess.
And it needs some renovations.
Then, every time you see her, you need to be wearing a tool belt.
Salsa dancing? Tool belt.
10-pin bowling?
Tool belt. Art gallery?
Tool belt.
The key is to start jobs, but never finish them.
That should buy you at least 6 months.
Cheers, guys. Sorted.
Hooroo!
Foster's, good call.
Drinkaware.co.uk for the facts.
TalkSport 2 brings you more live sport, more incisive pundit comment and more in-depth analysis from across the sporting planet. Plus, you can get all the latest form and odds on all the big events with TalkSport 2's official betting partner, Sky Bet, every morning on Sports Day.
And they've turned this game on its head.
TalkSport 2 with official betting partner Sky Bet, now giving money back as actual cash, up to £20. Selected races, win and win part of each way singles only. Free bets and cashed out bets excluded. Eligibility restrictions, terms and conditions apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
The Nations League final. Portugal versus the Netherlands. Live on TalkSport.
Okay, now, early today, England Lionesses opened their World Cup campaign with a 2-1 victory over Scotland in Nice. Here's how it sounded on TalkSport.
Jump over one challenge, Kirby with a cross into the area takes a deflection, and the referee is going to have a look at a situation here. There might be a penalty shout for England, you know, and she's decided that she is going to give a penalty for England. Nikita Paris is going to take it 13 minutes in to convert this penalty against Lee Alexander. She steps up, right-footed, slaps it in, and Nikita Paris puts England in front. It's fallen to Ellen White, fortuitously disconnected, scored, and this time it will count for England.
Delighted to get on the score sheet and delighted for the team to get the 3 points, and yeah, we're really in this competition now.
On the edge of the area to Emsley, and Emsley's going to finish it off, and England have had a real scare.
The result wasn't what we wanted, but second half we played better, we were more attacking and got a goal and gave something for the fans to cheer about. So yeah, positives to take into the next game.
And it is a victory for England. They have overcome a tricky opener with Scotland by 2 goals to 1.
Played it to England. They were formidable in the first half. I thought they played some really, really good football and with great intensity and with intent, especially in the final third, and we struggled to cope with that. We regrouped at half time, and there's so many positives from the second half performance from us.
Just the second half, probably I got a little bit angry with them a little bit because I wanted us to see out the game, score the third goal, control the game, pass the ball, and we didn't do that. But it was a good, emotionally it was a really difficult first game, and we dealt with it really well.
Yeah, 2-1 victory there for England, and among those who you heard from afterwards were the score of England's second goal, Ellen White, Scotland goal scorer Claire Emsley, and of course the two managers Shelley Kerr and Phil Neville. And of course there was the opening game in Group D, so England top the group now with their 3 points. Scotland by definition are bottom. Argentina and Japan, the other two teams in the group, yet to make their bow. Let me remind you again when you can next hear England and Scotland live here on the TalkSport network at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon. Tune in to TalkSport 2 to hear Scotland play Japan, and then at 8 o'clock in the evening live here on TalkSport, England take on Argentina. Those are of course both in Group D of the Women's World Cup. It's been a very, very busy day of live commentary for you here on TalkSport, because before the England-Scotland World Cup game we heard how England's men won yet another penalty shootout. They're masters of the universe now, aren't they? In the Nations League third place playoff with Jordan Pickford, the eventual hero.
But it's Jordan Pickford who's taking number 5. This won't be a Panenka. It is Pickford. Wow, he's whacked that in. Brilliant penalty. He loved the moment as well. So now all he's got to do is stop this one, and England have won. Durpy on the edge of the penalty area. Slightly twitchy run up. Right footed. Oh, it's saved by Jordan Pickford. Diving to his right hand side. England win another penalty shootout, and this one means they finish third in the inaugural Nations League.
I think penalty shootouts is something that he embraces and he enjoys. I think he enjoys that pressure and enjoys being the hero.
Penalty number 6 for England to be taken by Eric Dyer. No one's missed one yet, and they still haven't.
Obviously after Colombia winning one, that gives us the confidence and the belief, and thankfully we won that one as well.
Over time, strikers usually get the benefit of the doubt, but now I think it's just going to get pulled up left, right and centre.
And they've bundled in for an England goal, and it's Callum Wilson. The referee's gone across, stands on the penalty spot and gives a free kick to Switzerland. It has been ruled out.
It's kind of an anti-climax really. You celebrate, then the goal gets reviewed, then all of a sudden if it's given, then happy days. If it's not, then it's back to where you started in the build-up again. And I think it's just it's going to take the fun out of the game really a little bit, to be honest.
Well, I think we take out that we're a really good team. We still need to take that next step and now start challenging for big titles. Obviously it's been a great competition for ourselves to get through our group, which was a really tough group, and then the Holland game we wasn't at our best, but the game could have gone either way, so that takes credit to the lads and the talent that we have in our team.
Maguire then against Sommer, long right-footed run up, what a penalty that was.
It wasn't our best performance. We can improve a lot, and at the end of the day we've been beat in extra time by mistakes, so we take a lot of credit, and we wanted to put performance on today and make sure we win the game, because the fans out here have been incredible, and we deserve that.
I don't think we could have found a harder way to win a football match than we did today, frankly, but when you look back at the experiences we've had both Thursday night and today, they're actually way better than anything else we could have had in terms of preparing us for next summer and with the age of the group for tournaments to come.
Yeah, Yes, England won the penalty shootout 6-5. Joseph Drimich missing the vital spot kick. And they, as you heard there, third place in the tournament. David Connolly, who's of course watching Portugal versus Holland in the Dragao for TalkSport. Interesting that I think it was Raheem Sterling there saying that the England goal, which was disallowed for a foul by Callum Wilson on one of the defenders, took some of the fun out of it. The VAR review is going to be, it's a fact of life, whether you like it or not. In the upcoming Premier League season, it is going to change the way forwards play as well as defenders. They're not going to be able to pull people around quite so much.
Well, no, that's true. And look, I wouldn't say it was soft, but it wasn't that much in it. And it's a shame for Wilson, who I thought actually could have come on in the first game against Holland. But yes, I think you've got to take it both ends, haven't you? Obviously, forwards, if sometimes they are getting pulled down, there's going to be more penalties, and likewise it can go the other way. But yeah, I think Raheem will get used to it, like all the players have to.
Listen, we're off and running in the second half of the final of the Nations League. Portugal against Holland. You've heard from David Connolly. Here's your match commentator, Alex Crook.
Well, Quincy Promes made quite the impact against England in the semi-finals, scored one and set up the other of the goals that the Dutch scored in extra time to take them to this final. Ronald Koeman will be hoping he will have a similar impact. Promes has come on for Ryan Babel at the start of this second period. David Connolly, the change that you were advocating.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I had the feeling that Koeman wouldn't stand for that. That was a really disappointing 45. They had the ball, they didn't really do much with it, so that's a good change.
No change for the home side. Portugal in the predominantly all-red strip with a green sock, tuning from right to left in this second half. Have Rui Patricio in goal, Semedo, Diaz, Font and Guerrero in defence. Then come Danilo, Carvalho and Fernandes, with Ronaldo and Bernardo Silva either side of Guedes up front. Holland with Sillerson in goal, Dumfries, Van Dijk, De Ligt and Blind. It's De Roon, De Jong and Wijnaldum in midfield. Bergwijn and Promes now supplying the width for Memphis Depay up front. We've played 70 seconds of the second half. It remains Portugal 0, Holland 0. You're listening to the Nations League final on TalkSport.
And I guess maybe it could have been Bergwijn, but I don't know. I mean, I spoke to a friend in Holland today, and he said actually Ryan Babel, out of all the players, he's probably the least liked. He had a long spell, didn't he, where he wasn't even in the Dutch squad. He's had a brilliant end of season, hasn't he, at Fulham, but he's looking for a club, and I don't know, maybe they've gone with keeping Bergwijn on there. He's at PSV, obviously he's playing in the Dutch league.
He's made it clear this week, Ryan Babel, that despite the fact he won't be staying at Craven Cottage, he would love another crack at the Premier League next season. Was one of the shining lights for Fulham in what was a pretty disappointing campaign overall. Holland looking for a shining light here, but it's good defending by Rafael Guerrero, the fullback. It's it into touch. It will be a throw in now for the Dutch in their all sky blue away strip. Doesn't look quite right, does it, a Holland side, not in orange?
No, that's true, but it's a nice kit, nice sky blue. But now you can see that Depay's just looking forward a little bit earlier. They've got that pace now of Promes, which they didn't really possess in the first 45. So I'm sure they'll be a little bit more threatening here, the Dutch.
And very close, Quincy Promes, a couple of Januaries ago to joining Southampton. He's at Sevilla in Spain. Here he is inside the penalty area, but the ball carries all the way through for Rui Patricio.
There's more cut and thrust about them already. You can see that first few minutes. They're better around the box. Promes, good little 1-2 there into Wijnaldum, but just took a deflection off Font.
48 minutes play. Portugal 0, Holland 0. We do need a winner tonight. For time and penalties, a bit of feature of this Nations League final.
I just wonder, is there like a golden goal? Would that be better? I don't know. And you hear, obviously, Danny saying there about England getting so good at penalty shootouts, but maybe in some tournaments, I don't know, would a golden goal be better? Not so sure. I mean, would teams go for it more rather than sitting back waiting for pens?
I'm sure Holland would favour penalties. They've lost 5 of their last 7 shootouts, including 2 at World Cup semi-finals, most recently, of course, against Argentina back in 2014. It's the type of game where you feel one goal either way would probably settle it right now. Portugal have the ball inside their own half. Down this left touchline. Ronaldo dropping a little deeper to try and get involved in the plays on the run now, but he can't keep the ball in play as it was lofted towards him by Guerrero. He's out for a Holland throw.
Yeah, those passes into Ronaldo haven't quite had the quality really that he probably expects.
Ricardo Carvalho, the former Chelsea defender, much decorated Portuguese defender, will be part of the presentation ceremony. As we know the victors, be that in the 90 minutes in extra time or indeed via penalties. It's always very dramatic for the neutrals when it goes to spot kicks, but not much fun, I'm sure, for the two sets of players. David, you have experience a bit.
All right, Alex, all right, let's leave it there.
Holland coming forward here is set 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Is Wijnaldum. I think he was offside anyway. Of course, the directive in this tournament is that the assistant doesn't flag until players come to a natural halt. It's a good save, 1-on-1 by Patricio, but he was offside by Wijnaldum.
Yeah, they just give it away there on the edge of sort of their own half. Durpy just releases Wijnaldum, gone fractionally early, but as you say, they just allow it to go through, play to its conclusion. But it's a good stop, wasn't it, from Patricio? Just stood up well, palmed it away.
I was referring to all the penalties you scored in your career, not the one you missed for the Republic of Ireland at the World Cup.
Okay.
Obviously still sensitive to that.
No, I'm not sensitive to that, that's fine.
6 minutes gone in the second half. Portugal 0, Holland 0. And it's the Dutch in control at the moment in terms of possession. Goes back to De Ligt.
But that's changing, isn't it, from next season in terms of allowing that to play to its conclusion? Is that right with the assistant referees? I believe so.
Well, it's up to the individual associations, and certainly the directive that the FA are going to hand down is that they flag as they would do under normal circumstances, and it does make it a lot easier both for players and for spectators. One law with VAR is that it doesn't necessarily lend itself to the fans inside the stadium knowing exactly what is going on. I think that's one of the areas that needs work. Here come Holland on the attack. Daley Blind level with the left corner of the penalty area. Plays it back to De Jong, De Roon. Those two just exchanging passes. They've gone all the way back to Van Dijk inside the centre circle. Portugal well grouped here behind the ball. Only Ronaldo in an advanced position. Holland try and pick their way through with Durpy. Good challenge by Semedo. Durpy still has it at his feet though, down by the left corner flag. It's got Bernardo Silva for company. Here is Memphis Depay whipping the cross in right-footed, but straight into the arms of the yellow-shirted Rui Patricio.
He's really strong, Depay on the ball. It's so difficult to get it off him, but actually he spends so much time out wide because he's not really a natural front man. And
he's been bowled upfield by Patricio, and Cristiano Ronaldo trying to bulldoze his way through this Holland defence. He's back on his feet now. Here's Guedes inside the penalty area, looking for the cutback. Virgil van Dijk, right place at the right time to block the cross and concede the first corner of the second half.
Yeah, it's a brilliant block. Super pick out though from Ronaldo. Lovely ball into the area, but they didn't really have anyone else in there. Not enough Portuguese players committed to the attack, but they won themselves another set piece here. I imagine it'll be something similar, a little short one, something clever.
Portuguese fans behind that goal as one on their feet, trying to suck this ball into the back of Jasper Cillesen's net. Will be Fernandes with the right-footed outswinger, helped on by Font at the near post and headed tentatively behind by De Roon.
Yeah, well this time, for the first time in the game, they've just put it straight into the box. Wasn't the best ball. Frankie de Jong actually at the near post just missed it.
Just bounces off the back of De Roon's head and out for another corner. Corner number 7. Will it be lucky number 7 as far as Portugal are concerned? Bernardo Silva this time. Powerful delivery. Font gets up for the header. Can't quite scramble it home. And the ball is safely in the arms of Jasper Cillesen.
Well, it was a brilliant ball in. Bernardo Silva. That's how to take a corner. Whipped it in. Loads of pace and power. Like Jose Font was going to get a free header, but just deflected down into the keeper's hands.
Now it's the Dutch's turn to go direct. Long punt forward, almost setting Memphis Depay away. It was well watched and cleared away by Semedo. Here is Carvalho now.
That's why he's back there, corners against, because he's got that speed on the counter-attack, just to snuff out any of the Dutch danger. Done it brilliantly there.
9 minutes gone in the second half. Still we await the first goal in this Nations League final. Signs though of a Portuguese breakthrough, and there could be signs here because they've got the ball into the penalty area. It's pulled back towards Carvalho, hooked away and behind for a corner by De Ligt.
Well, the back four here just a bit too far apart. The Dutch, about 10-15 yards between each player, need to get in a bit more compact.
Guedes, who tried to cut the cross back for Carvalho. Ronaldo was lurking at the far post as well, but he was in the right place there. De Ligt again to make the clearance.
One thing I would say is when they do break the Portuguese, don't really get enough numbers up to support the attack.
It's going to be Bernardo Silva with a corner again from that far touchline. Another good delivery. Font climbs, but is beaten in the air by Virgil van Dijk. Chance here maybe for Guedes to get a shot away, deflected, and it will be another corner for the home side.
Well, they're just keeping it alive here. They can't quite clear their lines, the Dutch. Empty forwards to Guedes. Good strike, deflected wide. It's another set piece, but brilliant block there from Ronaldo, came flying out.
Portugal piling on the pressure in this second half. Corner taken short this time. Fernandes into the penalty area, but intercepted by Promes and chipped forward towards the halfway line. It's volleyed into the stands on this near side by Gonzalo Guedes. What have you made of his performance so far?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's been on their periphery, I think, like a lot of Portuguese players, apart from maybe Ronaldo and Bernardo Silva, who've really looked the class apart. He's just been there or thereabouts. He's on the outskirts of the game at the moment.
Portuguese fans in good voice, trying to roar their team to victory.
What I would say is he's a willing runner, isn't he? He always runs in behind, makes those third man runs and deep, attacks that defensive line. Again though, once he does that, they don't really have anyone in the box.
Two pretty toothless looking sides so far. Defence is certainly coming out on top. Here is Daley Blind to Promes, the half-time replacement for Holland. Pass aimed at Promes is overhit. It will be a throw-in for Portugal. Martin de Roon just getting his angle slightly wrong.
Well, Quincy Promes gives him a thumbs up there, but I would have given him a thumbs down. That was a fairly simple pass, 10 yards, and that's where I think maybe some people were surprised about de Roon playing in here. Van der Beek, I'm sure, look, he's going to keep the ball more. He's going to be a better attacking threat. I think they need more creativity, so I'm sure we'll see Van der Beek at some moment in time.
Here is Memphis Depay trying to forage away through, and he gets into the penalty area and he cuts it back for Wijnaldum. And it's a good save by Rui Patricio. I think the last touch may well have been off Jose Font. Very alert goalkeeping from the Dutch number one. And eventually the ball smuggled behind for a corner.
Well, Depay, we just spoke about it earlier. He is so strong, out-muscled Font there on his side of corner. Brilliant play.
The alert for Rui Patricio, I should say. In comes the cross, punched away by Patricio. And now a chance on the counter-attack. That was excellent play by Guedes, strong as he held up the ball inside the centre circle and turned away. He feels he's been side to the ground. The referee had a good view of the challenge and says no. And then he's knocked out a touch on this near side by Dumfries.
Oh, what a recovery tackle. That is absolutely sensational. Bergwijn just gets a nick on the ball. I mean, the Portuguese player thinks he was fouled there, but great recovery. But then they just give the ball straight away to Dutch. Simple pass out from Dumfries, pass it straight out of play.
Haven't seen a booking yet. It was a different story when these two met for the World Cup in Germany back in 2006 in a match dubbed the Battle of Nuremberg. 16 yellow cards and 4 reds in that game. That's a FIFA World Cup record.
Wow, well, I think the referee here has left his cards at home because for a game that's seen so many fouls, not to produce a yellow or any card is amazing, really.
It's the year that Portugal went on to beat England on penalties in the next round, despite having Deco and Costina having been sent off suspended.
Oh, I remember that game well because it was my daughter's christening. I remember that was on in the background, so everyone was watching that.
Was that the Wayne Rooney-Ronaldo wink incident? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Cristiano Ronaldo? 59 minutes play. Portugal 0, Holland 0. You're listening to Talk Sport. More live football coming your way across the TalkSport network in the coming days. Belgium take on Scotland on TalkSport. The Euro 2020 qualifier on Tuesday night. Over on TalkSport 2, also on Tuesday, Hungary against Wales. Wales beaten by Croatia over the course of the weekend. Then Friday, more Women's World Cup action on TalkSport 2 at 2 o'clock. Scotland face Japan. And at 8 o'clock that evening, England take on Argentina. Here is Ronaldo for Portugal, deep inside the Holland half. Might even think about a shot from here. Ronaldo tried to slide it through instead for Bernardo Silva, and it's cleared away by Virgil van Dijk.
Oh, it's a hurried clearance, really. Expect a little bit more there from Van Dijk. It was a poor pass. Well, here's that change we're talking about.
And it will be the player that David Conley has been crying out to come on. Van der Beek replacing Bergwijn. So a second Dutch change. Of course, if the match does go to extra time, both managers will be afforded an additional sub. Donny van den Beek, who scored 17 goals for Ajax this season, another hot prospect in the Dutch ranks. It's Portugal coming forward, and a chance here for Guedes to get the shot away, and there is the opening goal. Gonzalo Guedes squeezes the shot beyond the goalkeeper Silasson at his near post, and Portugal strike first in this Nations League final. An hour gone, cometh the hour, cometh the man. Gonzalo Guedes makes it Portugal 1, Holland 0.
Well, it's Guedes with the goal, but it's Bernardo Silva who's absolutely brilliant here with the layoff. Fantastic play, they work it really well. Bernardo Silva breaks in the box, fakes to shoot, then spots Guedes out the corner of his eye. Has one look at Silasson, and it's just the power that beats him. It's a wonderful strike, gets his head down, he's aiming for that far corner, the ball's rolling away from him along the 18-yard box. Plenty of pace and power, he can get one hand to it, but he can't keep it out. Brilliant finish.
Well, it's only his 4th goal in Portuguese colours, but it could be one of the most important of Gonzalo Guedes' career. Home delight in the Dragao Stadium. Portugal on course to add the Nations League to their Euro 2016 triumph.
I mean, look, he'll get the plaudits, and it was a great goal. Terrific strike. But the layup on Bernardo Silva was absolutely brilliant. We saw that, didn't we, against the Swiss, where he pulled the ball out of the sky, Bernardo Silva, and then cut it back from Ronaldo that time. I mean, plenty of players would have shot on their left foot, but no, with presence of mind, terrific little cut back on the edge of the box.
I can tell you, by the way, Lewis Hamilton has won the Canadian Grand Prix after some controversy. Sebastian Vettel crossed the line first, but was given a 5-second penalty for blocking Hamilton, and that awarded the win to Hamilton. No controversy about the Portuguese opener here. We did feel, David, that the opening goal would be crucial. What would you expect from Holland by way of a response? Their fans are singing, always look on the bright side of life. Nothing like a bit of black humour when you've suffered a setback.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, he's made his changes now, Koeman, so he hasn't really got that many more to make. Certainly they can go and win the game. I think they've got all their attacking talent on the pitch, but what they don't possess is a player like Bernardo Silva. He just comes alive. Here he is, skipping into the box. As I said, most players would shoot there, but at the presence of mind, he knew that Guedes was just to the side of him. And it's just the weight of pass, he just rolls it across the box.
Will the keeper be disappointed?
Well, yeah, he got one hand to it, but as I said earlier, they've got a number 1 that doesn't play. He's a cup keeper, so he's great with his feet, don't get me wrong, and he doesn't face that many shots, but he got one hand to it. I just think the power that beat him, if they had maybe a Van der Sar in goal, well, certainly that wouldn't have gone in, but they don't.
Van der Sar, one of those Dutch players I was talking about, one of the Dutch goalkeepers, of course, who amassed more than 50 caps. That was the elite list that Jasper Silasson has joined tonight, but at the moment not marking it in the way he would have wanted. Portugal lead by a goal to 0. Gonzalo Guedes on the hour. I've got to say, Portugal have been the dominant force since half-time. Here is Cristiano Ronaldo having a growing influence on proceedings, and it's a catch-22 situation for the Dutch, because we've seen in dispatches tonight just how much of a threat Portugal have on the counter-attack. If they commit too many men forward with the likes of Ronaldo and Bernardo Silva, they could well get picked off at the other end.
Well, they could. I mean, we heard Dutch and Koeman saying that he builds from the bottom. Builds a house from the bottom. He's got the 2 centre halves. That's the rock at the back. But what they don't have is an architect like Bernardo Silva. I mean, not many sides do, but if they did, it would be a completely different story, because this game is basically hinged on the brilliance of Bernardo Silva, and obviously you got Ronaldo, who's such a threat, and the Dutch don't really possess that.
Portugal 1, Holland 0. 64 minutes play. The Gears will tell you that Holland are in possession with Daley Blind over on the left-hand side. Now Van Dijk on the halfway line. Here is Matthijs de Ligt. Portugal with everybody in red camped back inside their own half. equally capable as the Dutch of stifling a game. They know they are only 26 minutes away now from glory, in front of their adoring home supporters. Promes down the left-hand side, looking here for Van der Beek, the substitute. That was well defended.
He done well there, Van der Beek. Good ball in. He just found himself into the box, let the ball run across his body, a little no-touch turn, forced to the bar line. Good block though by Semedo. He's been superb actually. A really good display from the fullback.
It's a corner for Holland in front of their orange-shirted supporters. Van Dijk is forward from the back, so too De Ligt. Can they find the header? One of their big central defenders. Not on this occasion. Swept clear, but still Holland in possession. With Van der Beek down the right-hand side. Lovely ball in. Oh, what a chance to equalise. Memphis Depay with a header. And somehow Patricio kept it out.